Sound Off.
Rated T14.
Welcome back to Sound Off. I'm your host, Claudine Lance Schofield. Now, Sound Off is sponsored weekly by Carolina Teen Health. And once again, we are honored to have in the studios with us on this morning my good friend and I would say co-worker and everything else that relates, right? A school, okay, all right. Everything, okay. We have Mary Cookie Canty Goins from the Director of Guidance at Myrtle Beach High School. Once again, good morning, Ms. Goins.
Good morning, Ms. Schofield.
And team, for all the people that might not have listened to the last segment, please reintroduce yourselves.
Angelica, and I'm a sophomore at Gaston College.
My name is Dennis. I'm in the 8th grade at Whittemore Park.
This is Brianna Evans. I'm a sophomore at the College of Charleston.
Michelle DeBerry. I'm a senior at Conway High School.
Hey guys, this is Tanisha. I am a junior at HGTC.
Hey everybody, I'm Patrick Wilson. I'm a senior at the University of South Carolina.
Okay, and every time Patrick says that, it truly blows my mind. Patrick is a senior. Guys, let's give it up for that. A senior! A senior!
2012.
Man, the amazing thing is, Patrick, you're aging, but I'm not. Right, Ms. Goins?
Right.
We're holding it down. We
don't
just,
get
you know,
old.
we don't get old. Is that good? Yeah. Okay, very good. But what we're talking about, I think this is so important, what we're talking about this morning. And I'm saying this with all seriousness, Ms. Goins, I really appreciate the fact that you took time out of that very busy schedule to come to Sound Off to empower the community about the importance of making sure that we have a team effort to help our students to make a transition, that smooth transition from high school to college. And so before we went into break, Brianna, we were talking about what was not really a struggle, but what was the hardest thing for you as you transitioned from high school to college?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's what were we talking about? Let's piggyback off that and continue that conversation.
Oh, well, what I was saying was with the study habits when you go from high school to college, it changes dramatically because for most people, because I know I took honors classes all through middle school and high school, so, you know, it wasn't that hard when I got to college, but you still have to change up everything. And when I was talking, when we were in the break, I was talking with Ms. Goins about how I went to the academy for my last 2 years of high school, and I wanted to ask you, do you think it's beneficial for students who already know what they want to do when they go to college for them to go to the academy versus staying at their base high school?
Well, I think that goes hand in hand with something that we mentioned earlier about the IGP, and that's the individual graduation plan. And I think for the audience in Horry and Georgetown counties, they are most familiar with that. Right. The class of 2011, a class we just graduated, were the first ones to be affected by the school law. That in 8th grade, beginning in 8th grade, students were to have IGP or individual graduation plan conferences with the counselor and the parents. And for those who may not have students in 8th grade yet, that is where the parent, the student, and the counselor, they meet and kind of map out, I think that's a good term for it, right, kind of map out a course of study for the student before they get to high school. And one of the focuses of the IGP is not just to, you know, get courses for graduation or college, but also to help students identify their strengths and their areas of interest so that they can take courses related to that area or their career choice. So to your question about attending the academy, and I'm speaking for Horry. I think Georgetown may be set up the same way, but I'm speaking for Horry County. Every high school in Horry County has specific majors. Majors at Myrtle Beach High School may be different from Carolina Forest. The Forest may be different from those at Conway High School. While there may be overlapping majors, I mean, there may be some that are offered at every school, right, but every school has its own set of unique majors. In addition to the majors at the base school, every student has an opportunity to attend one of our academies, whether it's the Academy for Technology and Academics that has its own set of majors, or the Academy for Art, Science, and Technology, which has another set of majors. It is essential. Regardless of where the program is offered, the student must be given the opportunity to enroll in that program and participate in that major. Because again, it goes back to areas of strengths,
Right.
interest, and also you went to the academy and studied marketing and communications.
Yes, ma'am.
And now you're at College of Charleston studying communications. All goes hand in hand.
Right, that's right.
Had you not had the opportunity to experience that while in high school for the last 2 years and participate in an internship, walking onto that college campus, you wouldn't have had any idea of what communications really is, how broad or how narrow the opportunities are in that field. So yes, you made a very good decision and a very sound decision as far as knowing what it is you were interested in prior to getting on a college campus. And I can attest to that because as a parent, you know, wherever parents went to high school, they kind of
Right.
expect that of their children. You know, I wanted my kids to be at Myrtle Beach High School for 4 years, where my daughter found a program, an area of interest. She's interested in the legal studies program. And so, yes, the academy was good for her. I wouldn't have picked that choice, you know, based on wanting her to be at Myrtle Beach High School, but she found something that she was interested in and did extremely well. So yes, academies are very viable options for our students.
Okay, and I do agree. I think, you know, Ms. Goins and I both share that. My daughter, Courtney, as well, attended ATA, and she did the business program, and now she'll be going to Francis Marion, majoring in business administration. So it's a good thing, but, you know, what I wanted to say, a lot of students at a young age already know what they want to do. The early you expose young people to career options, for instance, you know, let's take some responsibility and put it on the parents. Even during the summers, we know that our kids want to work, but why not expose them to unpaid internships? You know, if you want dental hygienist or anything, make sure that these students understand that these opportunities are available, because the more you're exposed to something, then you might change your mind. I mean, you might want to be a nurse and then you do an internship at a hospital and see blood and you pass out. You know, so that's a comical way of saying it, but
I saw something like that happen at the academy. A
Okay.
girl, she wanted to do cosmetology, but after her first year, she said that she couldn't do hair.
It's the importance of exposure.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Giving them that opportunity to experience things firsthand before going to college. You're not wasting your time
That's
in
right.
courses, time or money, exactly.
And money,
you know,
that's right,
prior
Brianna.
to. And again, the internships, but also just volunteering.
That's right, yep.
Even if it's just a couple of hours a week, volunteering in that arena or
Yep.
that area of interest that you think you might want to study is, I think it's really, really important that we expose our children to those kinds of things.
Okay, and going back to transition, since that's what our topic is, Tanisha, what was the hardest thing for you being a very intelligent student at HGTC?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are you majoring in?
Science.
Okay, all right, so what was the hardest thing for you transitioning from that very best school in Horry County, Conway High School? Whoop, whoop. Nobody? Okay, wait. Okay, all right. Okay, I thought I was in the wrong place since we got a little rivalry since
I'm
Myrtle
outnumbered.
Beach.
I'm outnumbered, but it's okay. I
Okay,
can
let's say it
stand
again.
alone.
One of the best high schools in Horry County, Conway High School.
Myrtle
Conway! Okay.
Yeah, go Seahawks.
Tanisha, now you can answer since we got that straight.
The hardest thing for me was the time management and just like, you know, it's like, you know how your classes are like morning. Some of my classes were in the afternoon, and it was hard for me to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, go to 9 o'clock class, and then leave, come back for a 2 o'clock class. It was kind of hard. I had to kind of get used to that.
Right.
And another thing was keeping up with your studies, because you may not know this, but if you fail a certain amount of classes, then your financial aid gets suspended, and then what you gonna do? It's like,
Wow, good point.
So you have to keep your grades up.
Okay.
Again, responsibility.
That's right.
And having, learning to balance academics, extracurricular activities, and if you're interning or involved in a mentor program or volunteering, all of that comes into play. Because I promise you, when our students get to college, you know, when you're in high school, if you haven't turned in a paper or you're kind of absent, you know, somebody's going to call.
Right.
That doesn't happen on a college campus. So ultimately, It's about responsibility and learning to manage and learning to balance and learning to juggle, because you're going to be doing several different things, you know, at one time. And the thing about the schedule, you know, basically in high school we start at 8 o'clock and we're done at 3:30. Well, the one class that you might need might not be offered until, you know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday, Thursday. So you know you're going to be in class from 3 to 4:15. It's not about accommodating your schedule. It's what the college puts out there.
Right.
And whatever that schedule is, whenever the classes are offered for your major, that's what you have to take. But again, it's all about learning to balance and learning to juggle the academics, the responsibility of being on a college campus without your parents being there.
Right. That's the biggie. Yeah. But, you know, Angelica, what would you say was the hardest thing for you?
I think I went through the same thing that Tanisha went through. Basically just having to get up in the morning and take morning classes, and then having to come home and have a night class. And then we would be in the class for hours. Some of my classes were 3 and 4 hours.
Wow.
And I did not have the energy to sit there at night listening to the English professor talk about, you know, verbs or whatever she was saying, and having to come home and prepare for the next school day, get homework done, put all my school stuff together so I can have it in the morning. And then another thing was priorities. Me wanting to hang out was very hard. I had to do homework, I had to study. And some of my friends had morning classes only, so when I had night classes, they were hanging out. Right. While I was sitting in class, and it was miserable. But it definitely pays off towards the end when you get your credits and you get to move on. I say it definitely pays off.
Prioritization.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was thinking when she said that.
To, you know, what Tanisha was saying about, you know, the schedule and the courses, learning the joke. You have to prioritize because, again, parents don't have any say. If the absence policy is 5 absences, when you get to the 6th one, it's done. I mean, professors aren't going to call your parents. It's done. When you don't turn the paper in on time, it's done. So you have to prioritize. And the other thing, you know, late night classes, early morning classes, goes back to what we just said a few minutes ago. I mean, the college sets its schedule, and that's how it's going to be done. And what is going to determine who's there as a sophomore after the freshman class, after the freshman year, depends on how serious you are about being there as a student.
That's right.
And I will be the last one to tell you that, you know, there are going to be activities and gatherings and celebrations on campus. There are going to be some, but you don't have to go to all of them.
That's right.
You know? I mean, pick and choose, because what determines whether or not you get that scholarship check the next year is how well you perform this year. Every year, just like those courses, every year builds upon itself and leading to the next. What you do this year is going to affect next year. So prioritizing and doing what you need to do to stay on course.
And then, you know what, I second that, because I'm telling you, the conversation that we are having with Courtney is keep the main thing the main thing. Don't major in the minor. And college, and I know you would attest, college was some of the best days. I'm telling you, we had fun. But as Ms. Goins said, you can't, everything that's jumping off, you can't be jumping with it. The key is making sure that you understand the importance of it. And, you know, I think for me, when I went to college, the shocker was the fact that your parents are not, you mean my parents are not going to tell me when I can go